Here, we've got to fill in the table of values for the equation y equals x plus 3. And to fill in the values for y, we need to use the given values for x and substitute them in this equation to get the corresponding value for y. So let's get started. First, when x is minus 4, y becomes minus 4 plus 3, that will be minus 1. So you write that minus 1 here. Next, when x is 0, y becomes 0 add 3, that will give you 3. Next, when x is 3, y becomes 3 add 3, 6. So the table is now filled and completed. We go for the second question. We need to draw the straight line y equals x plus 3 onto this graph. Now we need the pairs coordinates in this table of values. So let's begin with the first pair of coordinates. When x is minus 4, y is minus 1. So on the x coordinate, I look at for minus 4. Also, this is it. And I move one place down and I have minus 1. So this is where the both coordinates meet. I'm making a kind of a dot. Some use a crosses, but I want to use a dot. Next, the next pair of coordinates is 0 and 3. When x is 0, y is 3. So where's x 0? Yeah, this is x 0, y 3. So I move up here. So I locate the point here with a dot. Big enough to be seen. And next, when x is 3, y is 6. So I go on the right across, x is 3, y 6, so I go up. So at this point, this is where both coordinates meet. Again, I'm going to make the point big enough because I think I kind of need it when I'm going to do my straight line. So to complete my question, I need to connect these 3 dots with a straight line. Okay, so I go. Okay, kind of struggling with it. So there's it. So to complete my equation, I need to write down my equation on top of the line, kind of label it. So y is equals to x add 3. That's kind of settles all the question and you have your full mark there. In this second example, we've got to fill in this table of values with the equation y equals 2x plus 3. Like the first example we did earlier, we just need to use the values for x and substitute for x here to get the corresponding value for y. So let's get started. When x is minus 3, y becomes 2 times minus 3 minus 6 plus 3, and that's going to give you minus 3 here. Next, when x is 0, y becomes 2 times 0, which is 0, add 3, 3. Next, when x is 1, y becomes 2 times 1, 2, add 3, 5. So this table is now filled. Now, question B says we got to find, or rather draw the straight line for this equation. Now, we know this equation really has these pairs of coordinates. So, we use them to plot our point and eventually a straight line graph on this graph. So, let's start off with the first pair of coordinates. When x is minus 3, y is minus 3. So, try to locate it. When x is minus 3 here, y is minus 3 somewhere here. So, I'm going to put like a dot here, kind of making it big enough to be seen. Good. We go to the next one. When x is 0, y is 3. When x is 0 here, y is 3. So I have the point here. Again, I'm going to make it big enough to be seen. Good. And then we go to the next pair coordinate. When x is 1, 5, y is 5. So when x is 1, y is 5. I think that will be somewhere here. Again, make it kind of bold enough so you can see it. Good. Now, to draw that straight line, I need to connect these 3 points. So let's see how we can have that drawn. So you make a straight line here, and this is fairly correct. So to complete our question, we need to write the equation on top of the line, anywhere on the line. I can write it here, up here, but let me write it down somewhere here. So y is equals to 2x add 3. Here we come to our last question. Actually, this is an exam style question. Now we got to complete this table with this equation. And so let's get started with that. When x is minus 2, y will become 2 times minus 2 is minus 4, plus 1, you got minus 3. When x is minus 1, y becomes 2 times minus 1, that's minus 2, and minus 2 plus 1, you got minus 1. Next, when x is 0, y becomes 2 times 0, 0 plus 1, 1. When x is 1, y becomes 2 times 1, 2, plus 1, you got 3 there. Next, when x is 2, y becomes 2 times 2, 4, plus 1, 5. And lastly, when x is 3, y becomes 2 times 3, 6, plus 1, 7. So we have the tables now completed. The next question says we got to plot the graph for this equation, y equals 2x plus 1. And we know this equation really got these coordinates, so we're going to use them here in the graph. So let's start with the first pair of coordinates. When x is minus 2, y is minus 3. So when x is minus 2, y is minus 3. Okay, I think I'm going to have the points here. Next pair of coordinates, when x is minus 1, y is minus 1. When x is minus 1, y is minus 1. Okay, we have the points here. The next, when x is 0, y is 1. When x is 0, y is 1. So we have it up here. Okay, and then the next one, x is 1, y is 3. When x is 1, y is 3 up here. So the point is going to meet somewhere here. Good. The next pair of coordinates, when x is 2, y is 5. When x is 2, y is 5. So come up here. And finally, when x is 3, y is 7. When x is 3, y is 7 here. So to complete the graph, I need to connect these points with a straight line. Okay, let's see how it will really pan out. Yeah, a fairly good one. We have there, straight line, fairly good one. And to complete the graph, I have to label it with the equation, which is y is equals to 2x plus 1. Alright, so that resetting that for the second question. And then we come to the third question. It says use a graph to estimate. The key word is estimate. Okay, you may not have an accurate answer because when you do use graph, 1 or 2 person may not have the same if there's something the same graph. So we have something close to an answer. Okay, so we're going to use the graph to solve or to estimate the value of x when y is 5. Now I'm going to use a different color pen to explain this even much clearer for us. Now we need to find, remember, we need to find the value of x when y is 5. So I'll try to look on my y-axis where I have y equals 5. I know it's going to be here. So I'm going to draw a line to connect that 0.5 to the straight line. Okay. And then trace it down to the x-axis. Okay. Now at this point it hits x equals to 2. Definitely, that means the value for x, an estimate value for x is now 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, I want you to share and subscribe to the video.